tech-disabling Rhyniognatha abilities. ARK Extinction arrives on Switch. And no Unreal 5 shots yet, but something to look forward to. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So yes, the community crunch just dropped and revealed the dossier for the Rhyniognatha. To not go through it too much, it does appear that yes, it will indeed fly and skim across the water, perhaps a bit like a bloodstalker, with apparently a way to thicken up its shell for a defensive boost. Spray hard, bullet-like globs or squirt soft globs that harden on impact to gum up incoming predators, meaning perhaps you can make people very sticky indeed. Going on to its abilities, it does appear to be an aerial combat creature, with some interesting words that if you crush up the right arthropleura, you'll get an enzyme that makes a Rhyniognatha glue as tech disruptive as Dinopithecus dung, meaning are we seeing tech disabling functions once again with this brand new creature? And it appears a new item, or maybe a few, will be introduced. An enzyme and Rhyniognatha glue that the bug can use itself to creatures or cargo and carry things around your base. So perhaps this can pick up things much bigger than it should. It goes on to say that the males will have a pheromone to invite egg-laying females to use them as hosts. Oh, but you can use that pheromone to mark any creature for the female to lay her eggs on. So, yeah, you will get babies being birthed out of other creatures. Is that how I'm reading this? But what's really interesting, it goes on to say the host can incubate a new generation of larvae to reap its best traits in the process. So could we be seeing some way to get the best stats through breeding or mutations? Will this actually benefit breeding? Am I stretching it a bit further than that? And then, yeah, to confirm, it does say that any beast that gets its egg laid on it, you can still save it, or you might be able to save it. So it does mean that the babies are going to be ripping out of the dinos and killing them in the process. What? A few things there, but we won't know exactly how this plays out until we get this during their 8th anniversary as one final content update to ARK 1. But I'm really interested, am I reading into that? Are we going to be able to get the best stats from babies somehow using this as a catalyst for that? Or is it just, yeah, we'll plant an egg into any creature to birth said creature and hope for the best stats that way? Either way, it does appear that yes, GIGA 2 maybe, if it skims across the water, looks like it might be able to pick things out the water. Never. They're never going to do it. I will be very, very surprised if we see sharks being plucked out of the water by this thing and carried around. Maybe it can do something from the water. I don't know, man. I'll be very surprised if that happens. But it does read like this glue function may allow it to pick up creatures much bigger than it really should. And tech disabling, once again, folks, it's coming with this. A very interesting final creature to ARK 1 indeed. Nothing much more mentioned in the crunch that was already talked about before. The creature vote is still ongoing and will end on April the 21st at 1 PM Pacific, with some very interesting submissions at the moment. And the Easter Evo event is continuing to run until Monday the 24th of April. ARK Extinction finally arrived on Nintendo Switch in the middle of the week, whereby Switch players can now experience the certainly more evolved map set on Earth with a range of new unique creatures, titans, of course, OSDs, element veins, and a variety of new ways to play ARK and take advantage of that sweet element that was a rare commodity before this. On sale for the Nintendo Switch with 20% off until April the 17th as part of the numerous upgrade editions that they've got available on there at the moment. But I'm sure a lot of you are all there asking, well, Where's the stuff about Unreal 5? We've all been shouting out about what we need to see following last week's post. Whilst Wildcard did reply to complaints with a new structured plan, that plan still isn't good enough to everybody out there. You know, there are certainly some bigger issues that people still have with the price, especially people that have still played the original game and their DLCs in their entirety, feeling like it's still getting a bit ripped off for that price, and servers still going down when this comes out. But one of the biggest pieces of feedback is show us something regarding this new version. If the Unreal 5 remastered version of ARK is coming out in August, that's not a lot of time between then and now to see what's going on and get excited for it, and at least understand why it's worth the price point being suggested. Sadly, the devs are still super quiet about anything surrounding this. They haven't responded to any mention regarding the news that was released. No dev is saying a word, but something a little glimmer of hope. Cuda Course, the cinematics director at Studio Wildcard, who pretty much makes all of the ARK trailers that you see when we get new maps, etc., and I know has been working with UE5 for some time, did a few event-based trailers for that in UE5. Well, we'd assume that Cuda Course is heavy in development on UE5 with ARK Survival Ascended, getting prepped for a trailer for whenever that's released, or even prepping us for some actual gameplay or first look at this in the immediate future. Well, at the very least, it seems Cuda Course is going to do some Unreal Engine cinematic tutorials during possibly this weekend. So make sure to go to Cuda Course's Twitter. I'll leave a link to that in the description so you can see when he's going to go live. I doubt we'll see anything ARK related during this, but it might help to get some understanding of the way he's thinking and the way the team are thinking in how they're using Unreal 5. Possibly worth checking it out to gather some understanding perhaps. But as you know, a lot of people are already playing with Unreal 5 and ARK assets within Unreal 5. Nakatus being one especially. You know him, I've spoken about Nakatus plenty of times before. Seems to be working on something regarding the Redwoods assets and trying to give it a unique ARK feel. In fact, it looks very, very like ARK in this shot, and especially this one too. Definitely seeing some clearer water reflections there, more detail on the trees, but I'm sure you can agree this one in particular takes the prize. It does feel upscaled to me, it really does. Love the lighting, love the bob, and I hope we see more of this soon. And that's it. Yeah, I know the devs aren't saying anything at the moment. Hopefully it might be related to the Easter break, or they're just trying to figure out a new way to respond, or perhaps that's it. That is the response, and we're going to have to wait until we see some new things. Big shout out to Python and Vino for making the community crunch this weekend. Really cool to see Vino in there. And I'll leave you with this, a trailer by Nexus that I wish I could understand what this is about. I don't speak the language, unfortunately, but good grief, it looks really cool. This is storytelling in its prime. Nexus is arguably one of the biggest ARK creators going out there. But yeah, just go and watch it with some nods to ARK 2. A cool animation of him respawning again. Obviously, I don't want to spoil this too much or else I might get claimed. But yeah, go watch it. I'll leave a link to this in the description. And that's it. What do you think about the Rhyniognatha? Comment below. Let me know. Are you bummed about no reply, new news about Unreal 5? Are you expecting some, or when do you expect some? Hopefully next weekend. We'll have to see, fingers crossed. Until then, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.